Hey there, Michael Wagner with Dynamax, and we are here today at the Prissy Chicken, which is a really cute, really nice harvest host facility in Union, Michigan. It's only about 12-minute drive from the Dynamax facility. Great camping area right here that we have, and this is before season, so we don't have the beautiful sunflowers and the you-pick flowers here, but they do have farm-raised chickens. They have some farm-raised lambs, ducks, organic vegetables, really a great facility. So if you happen to be in town for a plant tour, we recommend you coming on by. Today we're out here to demonstrate the RVMP FlexPower 4000E Mini, and we've got Chris with us, who is going to go over some of the ways to use this generator and how we can use it and some of the features to it, and also troubleshoot it. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Going to be starting off our little walkthrough by checking out the control panel here and telling you guys ways that you can control, turn on and off your generator that's installed in your coach. So first off, when you come in the side door, you're going to see the main control panel right here, and you're going to see this display. To go to the generator controls, you can just hit electric, which is the green circle right here. And then you're going to see in this little box right here, gen stopped, auto start, inactive. On the gen stop side, you're going to be able to start or prime. The generators run on LP, so priming is not going to be necessary. That's for people who use the generator on gasoline mode. But then you're going to have the start button on the left side, and then you're also going to have this auto start button right here. It's currently disabled. You can also click that and enable that as well. Depending on the floor plan of your RV, this might be in various different locations. You're also going to have a secondary panel at which you can access the start and stop buttons to your generator. For the floor plan of the coach that we're in right now, you can find it right here back near the bed area. And if you look at this panel, you're going to see a simple gen start and gen stop button. So those will also allow you to start and stop the generator. In addition to both of these options, there is also a third option. If you have the app, you can go into the app and it will look just like the display that we saw on the main control panel near the door. And you'll do the exact same thing. You'll click electric and then you'll have your generator options. And that's another way that you can start and stop your generator if you need to. And it's also worth noting that you should make sure that your LP is on within your coach, and then you can go ahead and start. Also, if your tank gets below a quarter on LP, it's going to have difficulties. The generator, that is going to have difficulty starting. So make sure that before you start, you have more than a quarter of your LP gas left. All right, so we've covered the control panels and how to start from the interior. Now we've moved back to the exterior of the coach. We're here on the rear driver's side part of the RV, where you're going to find this door right here, and this is the access door to find your generator. So you can press these two buttons and then lift up. Now, first off, we'll cover a few things about the generator by opening up this door right here, and then you'll be able to see a few of the main components, things that are going to allow you to do some easy kind of troubleshooting within the gen. First off, you're going to see your oil dipstick. This is going to be your reservoir to check your oil level within the generator. Then you're also going to see this switch right here in the bottom corner of the window. This is your LP gas lever. This is what allows the generator to be switched either into LP mode or gasoline mode. If you're using the ISATA 3, then you're only going to have it flipped into LP, as it doesn't utilize gasoline. So it should always be flipped down for you guys specifically. Then you're also going to see this little black box right here. This is your air filter compartment. So it has these little knobs on the left and right of it. Unscrewing those will allow you to get access to the air filter, which is right there. Also on the front bottom of the generator below the window, you're going to see this right here. This is your recoil start, your emergency pull cord. So in case of a low battery voltage, you also have that as an option to get your generator started. Then the final thing that we'll cover on this front door window right here, you have the control panel, which is in the right corner. We'll go ahead and go in order from top to bottom of what each of these things is. In the top left, you're gonna have the low oil light. Then you're going to have the overload light in the middle. Then on your top right is going to be the output ready light. You're going to see this button that says on off. That's your on off switch. Then you're going to see the gas prime button, which is this first red one. You're going to see the reset button, which is the second red one. And then you're also going to have your AC breaker switch, which is this one right here. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and run through some basic information as well as some basic troubleshooting about the 4000E mini generator. First off, this generator takes 10W30 oil. Make sure that when you're trying to start your generator, you have your RV on an even ground, because the oil sensors within the reservoirs are very, very sensitive. So if you're trying to start your generator and it happens to be on a slope, it may say that you're low on oil even if you're not, just because of the way the oil sits within the reservoir at that tilted angle. Obviously, you have the oil dipstick right here, which is this orange piece. And then you also have your oil drain plug, which is actually gonna be on the bottom of the generator. Finally, for oil changes, make sure that you disconnect the negative battery cable before you do any of your oil changes. That's just one thing to make sure that you do every time. Next up, let's cover the break-in period for your 4000E mini. Our recommendations are that when you first get your generator, run it at no load for 30 minutes, then run it at half load for 2 hours, and then run it at 3/4 of a load for another 2 hours after that. And once that process is completed, your generator should be up and functioning and completely broken in and ready for full-on usage. During your break-in period, you also want to check the oil twice a day or every 4 hours for the first 25-ish hours of your break-in period. Then after your first 25 hours of break-in, make sure to change the oil no matter what. Next up, let's cover how to start this thing. Some people get confused because when you hit the start button on our generator, it will go through a cycle of trying to start at maximum 5 times. So some people will press the button, hear it try and rev up once and it won't work, but then they'll keep trying to press the button. That is not necessary. Each press of the button will put the generator into a cycle of at least 5 start attempts. So if after 5 start attempts it doesn't go, then you can try and press it again. Next up, let's cover the spark plug maintenance and how to access it. You actually can get to the spark plug boot by just kind of reaching your hand up here through this window, but there is also a plug directly here where my hand is on this top of the generator. That's a plug that you can remove, and that should be able to give you access to the spark plug looking down below. You can then remove the silver boot, and that will give you a clean look at the spark plug itself. We're gonna now take a closer look at the generator and talk about some of the basic information and details, as well as some of the simpler troubleshooting tips that you can get to try and diagnose your 4000E mini. Sometimes issues with starting can be as a result of low voltage in your battery. In the case of this, that's why we have the recoil start cord at the bottom of the generator. So we would pull that and try and use the manual form of starting if that is an issue. So one thing that can happen sometimes with these generators, if you're not careful, is an electrical overload, which is when you accidentally overload your generator by running too many appliances or having too much of a power draw going at any one given time. In the event of this, you're going to see this middle light, the overload light, flash or light up. So that will be your indicator that that has happened. If you see that this middle light, the overload light, is turned on, what you're gonna wanna do is turn off your appliances. Then what you're gonna do after that is you're going to flip the AC breaker switch, which is on this front control panel right here. Then you're going to hold the red reset button, which is right next to the breaker switch. You wanna hold that red button until the overload light shuts off. Eventually, you should see the far right light at the top, the output ready light, illuminate. And once you see that light turn on, you can flip this AC breaker switch back into its normal position. From there, you can restart your appliances one by one. Make sure to not do them all at once. Take it one at a time. Give each of them a minute or two to kind of settle in before you go ahead and flip on the next one. And also make sure that you don't over exceed the power limit of the generator. We'll actually flash a graph on the screen so you guys can kind of see the general ratings and the guidelines that you should follow. Next up, we're gonna cover how to check for a bad inverter. First off, you wanna make sure that your AC breaker switch is flipped into the on position. You're also gonna wanna make sure that the overload light at the top of the control panel is off. If the overload light is off, the breaker switch is on, and yet you're still not getting any voltage from your output wires, that means you probably have a bad inverter. We recommend that inverters are only replaced by trained technicians and professionals. We do not recommend that that is a fix that you do yourself. It is something that would require dropping the generator completely out of the coach and taking off the hood. So if you're able to diagnose a bad inverter, reach out to us and our customer service line, or reach out to a local technician and see what they can do.
All right, we just wrapped on up. Special thanks to the team at RVMP for demonstrating the uses of our generator on the Dynamax ISATA 3. Also a special thanks to our harvest host, the Prissy Chicken here in Union, Michigan. We'll see you next time.